Good morning and welcome to the first service of 2021. So lovely to see you all here today. We appreciate you coming in and being present with us, either in person or in virtual land. We honor you all. So as we've gathered here, we want to take refuge in the sacredness of being together and cultivating peace and loving kindness as much as possible. For the service today, we will begin with the 3 homages, and all of our chantings are recorded. So it's good to just listen and kind of do mind chanting. Just feel the positive vibrations of the chants flow through you is best. As we offer incense and chant the Shoshinge, we let this beautiful long poem flow through us. Shinran Shonin, our founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, wrote this poem over 850 years ago, and he is still with us, teaching us, providing insights for us, and sharing his thoughts. We are responsible for extending what we have learned from the past and the present into the future. So that's why we're all here today, to cultivate all this good, positive energy. As we offer incense here in the Hondo, if we could do that with social distance in mind. As you know, we've been doing that for the last few months, and just think of it as more of a walking meditation and offering incense to the infinite wisdom and compassion that surrounds us and supports us all constantly, even if we don't recognize it. In every moment, we give a gift in gratitude to that support. So, for those of you at home, please chant your little hearts out and offer anything you'd like. If you have a home altar, it could be food, water, a flower, your good blessings, and just have that as your sacred space to feel that gratitude. So we offer this small gift in gratitude to all of our teachers. Thank you. Namam Bos. Namam Bos. Unam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. 奇妙無量寿如来。門心如来偶世願、雲言広大小芸者、全人名分だりけ、リーダー部本元年部、邪変教魔なく修上、信行十字人に南州市南昔、インド最天地論芸、中華自治域史構想、現代小構成小位、妙如来本税王記、釈迦如来両河線、一種言用な天竺、流樹大事修道生、執の財派有無権、先世大乗無情法、小官議事小安楽、賢治難行六六、信行異行指導楽、億年未打部本願、次年即時入上、結の上昇如来語、王法大悲偶世音、天神菩薩増論世、奇妙無下根如来、永州他ら献身寺、高専王朝大誓願、こういう本願力栄光、異道群上小維新、記入空読大崩壊、筆脈入大永州宗、特使連芸造世界、即昇信用法昇信、有本の人間人図、入賞自音自用芸、本自論乱両天地、上皇乱上菩薩来、三蔵ルシ十条教、本書専業気楽法、天神菩薩論中芸、報道因果見世願、大言栄光有他力、少女死因有信心、惑前本部新人法、承知承知即内藩、必死無量光明道、小宇宙上開復系、同社継承道南省、有名浄土活入、万全自力変言宗、円満特語感染症、三風三神慶音言、増魔法明道非因、
一生造悪地偶税思安妖怪称名か全道独名無所意公愛上三両逆悪公明明後家二年海入本願大地界行者小樹金剛心狂気一年総合用意大東逆三人即所保障市上楽献身公開一大教返帰安養管理祭先祖出身反戦人法系二道小弁流極十悪人唯勝負大薬剤非正集中煩悩証言追復権大義無権上昇が本次元空妙仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書公編集戦弱本願具惑性現代生じ臨伝芸形式異常異常死即入弱上無意楽一子信じに納入仏教大義修士と上妻無縁極辱悪同族自主良心唯過信し
行こう。何にし功徳よダメよなんだっけね何にし功徳よナ
Hello again. So our reading this morning is the Karanya Metta Sutra. Thus I have heard. One time the Buddha was staying at Savatthi in the Jeta Grove. In Anatta Pendika's monastery, a group of students received permission from the Buddha to meditate in a nearby forest during the rainy retreat season. Each of the students sat under a big tree as a spiritual home and engaged themselves actively in the practice of meditation. On account of the spiritual power of their meditation, the tree sprites could not stay in their tree abodes above the students. So they had to come down to the ground. Realizing that these people would spend the whole rainy season there, the tree sprites were much annoyed. So they tried to scare the students away through the night by harassing them in various ways. After living under such impossible conditions for some time, the students could not bear it any longer, and they returned to the Buddha. They informed the Buddha of their difficulties. So the Buddha taught those gathered this sutra. This must be done to gain the state of peace. One must be able, upright, and straightforward, pleasant in speech, mild and not proud, easily contented and easily supportable, not caught up in too many duties and frugal in one's wants, calm in mind, careful and courteous, avoiding any mean actions blameworthy by the wise. Thinking always thus, may all beings be happy and safe. May they all have tranquil minds. Whosoever pulsates with the breath of life, the frail or strong, without exception, the long, the large, the medium-sized, the short, the thin, or the fat, those visible and those invisible, those living far away or nearby, beings who are already born and those yet unborn. May they all be happy. May no one deceive another nor despise him in any way, anywhere. Let no one wish another ill, owing to anger or provocation. Just as a mother would protect her child, her only child, with her life, even so, cultivate boundless love to all living beings, radiating with a full heart, loving thoughts of kindness towards all the world, free from anger, malice, or anxiety, above, below, and in all directions. And while standing, walking, sitting, or reclining, alert and aware, maintain the state of mindfulness. Call the highest living and live free from mere views, being virtuous, bright in insight, free from the lustful desire, never again entangled in the round of rebirth. Hate is never overcome by hate. By love alone it is quelled. This is an ancient truth, today still unexcelled. Avoid evil, perform good deeds, purify one's thoughts. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. May all beings be glad-hearted. The Buddha advised those gathered to recite this loving kindness sutra and to radiate the spirit of love to all beings. This was the full moon day of August, when the Tathagata taught the Metta Sutra. From that day onward, this day is called the great occasion of loving kindness. Encouraged by this discourse, the students returned to their respective places. They practiced in accordance with the instructions given them. able to permeate the entire atmosphere with radiant thoughts of love, the tree sprites were much pleased to bask in the glow of loving kindness. And so they let the meditators stay without further disturbance. We will now have a few moments of meditation accompanied by a song of this kind of love with gratitude. To Mr. Taylor and Ms. Simon, we play his song. And the link to this song is in the streaming description.
always a challenge to do this without having anything come apart or falling off the platform or losing my prompter. I have almost succeeded. I will now take a bit of peppermint to clear my throat. Welcome again to Reno Buddhist Center. Happy to see you on this first Sunday morning together for the new year. The last few weeks at the temple have been very full. Yeah. We did the production for our New Year's Eve service, which was very complex. Each one of the presenters came and recorded their offering at a separate day and time, and then we put it all together. It gave us a wonderful opportunity to catch up with friends, but as you might imagine, that was 7 different reunions with a friend we hadn't seen for months and months. So it was emotionally very full. We offered the final product, our New Year's Eve service, last week by streaming. We heard thoughts on loving kindness from the wider religious community, as well as musical offerings from some wonderful artists. So we had 110 people tune in at midnight to see it, and then over the week following, about 1,001 people watched it too. So it was very successful in kind of spreading this idea of loving kindness that we will talk about some today. We are very grateful to everyone who participated and helped us build it, so thank you. Wow, it is 2021. That sounds so welcome. Reverend Shelley and I have the habit on New Year's Day of watching the Rose Parade, and there was no Rose Parade this year. So we thought, well, we'll just look online and we'll find an old one and watch that. What's the difference, right? So we picked the 2020 one because it was the first one that came up on the list. And it was so sad to hear the commentators how happy and ebullient the 2020 was going to be this great year, and it really, really sucked, And so every time they said how great 2020 was going to be, we laugh. And so anyway, 2021 is welcome because it isn't 2020, really. That's the big reason. We just had so much trouble and strife in the human world in that one year. I imagine the non-human world experienced it very differently, with less people mucking things up. It was probably welcome to them. And then there was this week. Sadly, we saw more riots and more COVID deaths. So January has not brought a wholesale change of the zeitgeist of our time. Maybe it was unrealistic to think that it would, but hoping for a change is the first step toward experiencing it. Setting an intention, we say. What would we have to do to make a change for 2021? That's a question to ask at the beginning of a year. What would be a good New Year's resolution to make that change happen? This may seem optimistic. 2020 was such a tough year for optimists. Many considered the whole realm of religion to be kind of a place for optimists. And through the year, I've run into people who had a very low opinion of religion in general. They used the turmoil of 2020 to use as a kind of a proof that all this religion stuff is just hooey. I don't know if anybody really says hooey, but that's what they meant. They would say that the universe does not really care about us. Isn't that obvious? And we have to fight for survival. Now, I listened carefully and offered no counter-argument at that time. When people are in that headspace, it is what they just need to be listened to. They need your open heart, most of all. This way of thinking, that we have to fight for survival, is exactly the source of the troubling and violent escalations we have seen since last summer, and now more unrest this week. We all will benefit from recentering and rededicating ourselves to practicing loving kindness for the sake of all beings and ourselves. So this morning, I want to share two meditations. First, we can establish a sensation of stability and grounding. Then, we can benefit from heart-opening metta practice. I should say, heart-opening metta practice. Here, do this. Open your arms like this. We have plenty of space, so you're not going to hit anybody unless they're your close family member. And I close my eyes when I do this because I feel a little silly. But on the other hand, feel the feeling of opening your heart. There's a real feeling there. Folks at home, try that too, but don't knock anything over in the house. So, after that, I will speak a little bit about peacemaking, but I'll mostly draw on Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching for making peace. So let's start by a meditation on stability, feeling grounded. This meditation is a cultivation practice. So it's not just observing the mind as we do in mindfulness, like when we cultivate gratitude, when we offer incense, that's a cultivation practice. With some experience, we become more able to evoke that particular mind state and those sensations of the body. So, we can all heal with stability. Sit comfortably, gently closing the eyes, and bring your awareness to what it feels like to settle into the posture. Be aware of the internal sensations of breathing. Air moving through your nose, down your throat, filling your lungs. Feel the rise and fall of each breath. Know that you are breathing here as this body, in this place, in this moment. Bring awareness to the support of the floor beneath you. Experience the sense of stability it gives, a sense of grounding. Focus on this feeling of groundedness. It is the object of our meditation. Let's amplify this stable feeling as best you can. Stay with the sense of being grounded, breath after breath, stable and at ease. When you like, deliberately intensify that sense of being grounded in this place. Let it fill your awareness. Explore different aspects of feeling grounded. You can slide your feet on the floor and sense the earth beneath you. Establish your place with the thought, this is my place. I am okay here. Bring awareness to the emotions of being grounded. It is calming. You are reassured. You are confident. What wants or desires arise from being grounded? It feels good. I want to feel like this more often. Notice any new feelings that come up. Really absorb into the meditation. Intend to be enveloped by the feeling of grounding, sinking into it as it sinks into you. Sense the experience spreading inside you, like a stream of water flowing into a meadow. Let that flow of stability flow, allowing it, give over to it. Let it in. Now, we make some healing connections. Bring a parallel awareness to memories or feelings of being unsettled or lost this week. Hold them to one side while sustaining your strong sense of groundedness. Make that live in the forefront of your consciousness. Widen awareness to include these two things at the same time. Maintain the strong groundedness you cultivated, and let the unsettled or lost feelings be, but they do not unbalance you. Let that feeling of strong groundedness spread out and ease anxiety or uncertainty. It is easing, it is soothing, and safe. There are no thoughts or stories here. Simply be aware of the feelings, of these two feelings at the same time. And allow, even gently help the feeling of groundedness to flow across, easing and softly melting, eventually replacing the memory of being unsettled or lost. Stability has healed it in some measure. As we approach the end of this practice, return to resting only in groundedness. Return to feeling your breathing in this place as it rises and falls, grounded and steady in this place, in this moment. Okay, we can open our eyes again and return to being together in the room. We have established a steadfastness of mind. Anjin, we call it in Shin Buddhism, peaceful awareness. It is important in daily life. We cannot deeply hear the light of Amida Buddha in every moment if we are scattered or unbalanced. Through the day, we need to be able to keep attention on what is useful and shift it from what is not. In the book Buddha's Brain, Rick Hansen says, attention is like a combination spotlight vacuum cleaner. Attention illuminates what it rests on while pulling it into the mind. That is good insight. We need to take great care with what we place our vaculight on. Our technoculture bombards us with distractions. We vacuum up every shiny object into our mind. And there's a constant stream of this stimulation. But much of what is shiny is broken glass. When we are stable, we can make stable choices, better choices, skillful choices. We can limit the amount of this broken glass that we bring into our mind, that we consume, lest it be sucked into our mind and create harm. We can focus on compassion and wonder skillfully, knowing that there has been political unrest this year is enough. We don't benefit from researching particulars or assigning blame. Keeping our center and remaining stable and open to life is what is truly important. The unrest comes from people's feelings. It comes from people who do not feel heard or cared for. We all want people to feel heard, to be understood, to be valued, and to be cared for. Only our stable mind can do this. Only from Anjin can we truly care for others. Let's boost our caring and compassion, our warm heart. We cultivate this with another meditation. So again, gently close your eyes and follow along this visualization of our guided metta meditation. Be aware of your body, stable and grounded here in the chair. Aware the sensation of breathing, the rising and falling. Visualize the breath flowing into your heart and flowing out of your heart. You might place your hands on your heart to really feel that. Each breath goes straight to your heart. Begin feeling the light of your own heart. There is warmth and brightness here in your chest that comes from outside of you and has its wellspring in your heart. Your loving heart is an antenna gathering the energies of loving kindness within you. Breathing gently, bring before your mind's eye a dear one, a two-legger or a four-legger, either way, someone who brings a smile to your face as soon as you see them. Visualize this dear one before you, amplifying the warm light of your heart, loving kindness. Grow that light in brightness and volume, and flow your loving kindness up through the crown of your head and shower it down over the dear one before you. They can feel it, and they smile, and you smile back. You can smile for real here. Yeah. Joined by a glowing arch of loving kindness, this energy, you both bask in loving kindness together. The brightness and intensity of the glowing light increases. Say to your dear ones these words, and say them aloud. You are loved. You are safe. Be well. Be happy. Be at peace. You have established a strong sense of loving kindness with your dear one. Now, bring before you a neutral person, someone you don't know, but who you recognize. Visualize them before you. As before, cultivate the energy of loving kindness in your heart. It grows there. Feel it grow stronger as you cultivate it. When it is overflowing your chest, guide it up, up, and out the crown of your head, and shower it down over this neutral person before you. They can feel it, and they smile, and you smile back. Marvel at the two of you, joined by a glowing arch of loving kindness energy. You both bask in this loving kindness for a time. The brightness and intensity of this glowing light increases. Say to this neutral person these words after me. You are loved. You are safe. Be well. Be happy. Be at peace. Now bring the image of a difficult person before you. This is a safe place, so it's okay. Choose a person who you will benefit from finding peace between you. Visualize them before you. As before, cultivate the energy of loving kindness in your heart. This is harder than before, but you have practiced well, and you are stable, and you are grounded. Grow the loving kindness light at your heart. When it is overflowing your chest, guide that light up, out of the crown of your head, and shower it down over the difficult person before you. They can feel it, and they smile. Maybe you haven't seen them smile before. You smile back. Feel the peaceful quality. Marvel at the two of you, joined by a glowing arch of loving kindness. You bask in that loving kindness energy together. The brightness and intensity of the glowing light amplifies and increases when shared. Say to the difficult person before you these words after me. You are loved. You are safe. Be well. Be happy. Be at peace. Now, bring together the whole group of visualizations standing before you. You are all enveloped by this brilliant, glowing, warm cloud of loving kindness. A dear one, a neutral person, yourself, and the difficult person, all peacefully standing together, gentle smiles shared. When you are all joined by this light, whose source is the wisdom and compassion of the universe, the brightness grows and amplifies. A strong and stable flow of loving kindness connected to the greater web of loving kindness, initiated from your heart of loving kindness. Okay, feel free to open your eyes again. You have tremendous power of loving kindness inside you. I could feel it here when we shared that. It's important. It's good. Your stability, your onjing, make you able to hold fast, even when there is tumult and confusion. The unrest we've seen since this summer. Let's return to the question we asked earlier. Hoping for a change is a first step toward experiencing it. We set an intention, a resolution. What would we have to do to make a change for 2021? What would be a good New Year's resolution to make that happen? How do we make peace? Thich Nhat Hanh has a nice little book called Being Peace. And I read it this week to settle my mind. He points out that it is odd, but there is a whole lot of anger, frustration, and non-understanding among people who long for peace. If you watch them on TV, they sound just as angry as the people engaging in riot and unrest. That is why we started today with grounding ourselves, followed by immersion in loving kindness. We want to be peace. We suspend judgment. We are all struggling beings, but we can generate harmony together. Sometimes these peace activists can write a very good protest letter, but they are not good at writing a loving kindness letter. To be effective, we need to learn to write a letter that those who we disagree with will want to read and not just crumple up and throw away. The way we speak, the deep understanding, the language we use must engage people, or peace will not grow. The people who cause unrest are people like any of us. We can engage them with loving speech. This is how we show the way to peace. That means we ourselves need to be peace. Because without being peace, we cannot advance peace in the whole land. If we can smile, then we can teach someone else to smile. If we are peaceful, then we can contribute to bringing our country together. Here is a kind of challenge. Find someone you disagree with and listen to them. Ask questions of understanding. Don't rebut or argue or judge. Just show genuine interest. Most people in America are closer to each other in views and experience than they are to the strident activists that get publicized. Either side. Here is a way to see that. Instead of recognizing the differences between yourself and others, we can try to recognize what we all have in common. As I said, at the root of it all, we are all human beings, are we not? We need food, shelter, love. We crave attention and recognition and affection. Above all, we want happiness. Let's reflect on these common qualities we share with every other human being, and don't vacuum up the differences so much. To be peace, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, we can gently seek out someone with whom we disagree. Maybe we see that the neighbor who has that sign on their lawn, or someone with that bumper sticker. Someone who we have mentally established as them in our mind. Likely they don't even know it. And when we see them sweeping their walk or they're outside out front of the house, we can say hi in a neighborly fashion. Engage and ask them how they are doing. And really listen without judging. See how they got where they are. And this might be difficult. I know you disagree with them. But while you are talking, remember these five commonalities that the Buddha saw in every person. Think, just like me, this person is seeking happiness in their life. Just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in their life. Just like me, this person has known sadness and loneliness and despair. Just like me, this person is seeking to fill their needs And just like me, this person is learning about life. End your little conversation gently and go back to your day. You have just brought peace to a divided country, in some small measure. But it begins with each of us doing our part to be peace. As the Dalai Lama said, my message is the practice of compassion, love, and kindness. These things are quite useful in daily life, but for the whole of humanity, these practices are essential for our survival. Let's resolve to practice compassion together. All this is not over-optimistic. It is essential and vital. These practices are not just hooey. They are the only way out of divided times. They are the only way forward into 2021. With this, there will be some promise to be dramatically better year than 2020 was. Let's make a great wish for 2021. Let's say to everyone on our planet who suffered through 2020 with us, please say after me, may you be happy. May you be free from harm. May you receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill your heart. Namanda, 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 namanda. Thank you. We usually finish with our Reno Buddhist Center theme song, sung by Reverend Shelley and myself in the recording. We can mind sing along with it, but no outside singing. Thank you.
Away, away, come away with me, where the grass grows wild and the winds blow free. Away,